All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our TensorFlow course and we're still doing our malaria diagnosis module. Let's have a look at what we went over today. Now, yesterday, if you recall, we went over the steps that we would need to actually build this model that will detect if a patient has malaria or not. So let's pick up where we left off. In essence, what we want to do is build a model like this, which takes as input a segmented cell from a thin blood smear and say whether this segmented cell is parasitized or unparasitized. This is the model here that we draw. You can see we have our segmented cell feeding into our model and then outputting whether or not that patient is parasitized or unparasitized, meaning infected or uninfected. We're supposing that we have no medical background, so we'll briefly look at how malaria diagnosis is related to those segmented blood cells. To start, we get infected by malaria once we are bitten by a mosquito. These mosquito bites usually lead to the passing of a Plasmodium falciparum parasite into our blood system. And so, to diagnose whether a particular person has got the malaria or not, it's important to get that person's blood. The medical practitioner has to select a finger to puncture, usually the third or fourth finger. Then, to obtain this blood, they puncture the side of the ball of the finger. And in case the blood doesn't well up, they would have to generally squeeze the finger so they can obtain the blood. Then always grasp the slide by its edge so not to corrupt the blood sample. So to control the size of the blood drop on the slide, touch the finger to the slide from below. From that cdc.gov website, we'll get the microbe notes website where we'll get more colored images. Now we've obtained a person's blood, and there are two possibilities. One is getting a thin smear, the other is getting a thick smear. And that's basically everything we went over this morning. We didn't actually download any data as of yet. We were just going over steps of how to obtain blood samples, and then we actually dived a little into pixels. But I will keep you posted every step of the way as usual. But for now, this is the Python Poppy, and you guys stay Gucci.